Alright, so this is the beginning of what will likely wind up being a long play of the first Spyro the Dragon game on the reignited version. Um, One of my favorite games I think that I've played in the last few years. I have completely platinumed it. I got all the achievements. I don't think this is a particularly difficult game to platinum, but for me, I tend not to have the attention span to platinum too many games. Um, and luckily, the achievements are kind of forgiving in this game, so I was able to actually get a platinum. And I think to date, this is the only game that I have on Steam, and there are a lot of games here that I got all the achievements on. So, looking forward to this. We're gonna go ahead and load up the game. I'm hoping that the controls work properly. If I remember correctly, I think this game has built-in DualShock support, um, but I had to disable. Yeah, let's not open Steam VR. That's not what I want to do. I had to disable the built-in Steam DualShock support. So, I don't know. Hopefully this works. We'll find out as we go through the intros. Not entirely sure what format this playthrough is going to take. Yes, my controller does work. It does have built-in PS4 controller support, so that's good. I think I'm going to have to switch save slots because this is my second save slot where I beat the first two games. See, this save slot, I 100%ed everything, which totals up to 112%. This one, I 100%ed the first two games. I'm only part way through the third. But we're going to switch to a new one. We're just going to go to the first game, which is easily the most simplistic of the three. This one really can be boiled down to running around, collecting everything there is to collect. Not difficult in the slightest. There's really only a few levels, and we'll point them out when we get to them, that pose any sort of challenge, or at least they did for me, because I'm kind of an idiot. But here we are, in the original Spyro the Dragon game. And the first thing to do is to clear out the hub world, because the hub world is in and of itself a world, which is a trend that would be carried through most of the mainline Spyro games, which is something I always found kind of cool, because I remember as a kid playing Mario 64 and wondering why there wasn't like objectives and things to do in the castle, like in the hub world. I mean, there was technically like the secret areas that you could find, but I always considered the secret areas just mini levels that you got to through the castle, and not so much actual castle objectives. But this game, no, like the hub worlds are their own little worlds, and this is like a little gliding tutorial. I always thought this was kind of clever because you're just barely high enough, and you're like, oh, I can see it from right here. And then if you glide, boom, you make it no problem. And then you go ahead and break through there. So in Spyro 2, and it's not in this game, but a funny little thing about the Spyro Reignited trilogy that I had no idea until I played it a second time a while back. In the second game, I think it's the second game, after you beat it, you get a permanent upgrade to your fire breath. And basically you get like the special ability where you can actually aim the fire breath and it shoots the fireball instead of just the spread of fire like this. And when I played it on my second file, that upgrade that I unlocked was there from the very beginning. Like, the first level I had it. And it made a lot of objectives actually really easy. Easier than they normally would be. And I found that kind of funny because, I mean, the game's already really easy, and then you have this ability unlocked for beating the game in a different save file. It actually allowed certain objectives to be completed early that I don't think the devs meant to be beaten that early. But alright, I think we got everything in this area. We're gonna go over here. Yeah, mainly just running around collecting things. There is no... I mean, there is technically boss fights in this game. That's a real stretch of the word. You can't really call them boss fights. They are ridiculously easy. There we go. One thing that's different from the original games to the Reignited trilogy is that you can always have Sparks point out the nearest source of gems. And in the original, I think that was something you had to unlock, but here, he just kind of does it. So, that's neat. And I guess the dragons in stone here are kind of like this game's version of the stars from Mario 64. Because they're kind of like the main collectible, and then the gems are just sort of the secondary thing. And you don't have to get all the gems. I don't even think you have to get all the dragons. Like, this game is really lenient to what it'll let you do to actually beat the game. But it's such an absurdly easy game that if you're not playing it to 100% completion, you're playing it wrong. Like, this game is made for people who like to just explore areas and pick things up. Like, which is pretty much exactly what I enjoy doing in games. It's really a game that I think you play more for the atmosphere. Even though the gameplay is really fun and the gameplay is really tight. Like, the controls are super smooth, super fluent. One of the best controlling platformers I think I've ever played. It's more of an atmosphere thing, because there's not really much here in the way of challenge. There is the flights, which we actually may end up doing a flight first after the hub world. But the flights are only difficult if you've never done them before, because there's kind of a pattern that you have to do them in order to get the all-in-one unlock. So there we go. I think that's the last dragon. There we go. Okay, so now we get to choose a first world to do. Dark Hollow is really great, but there's actually a secret world you can unlock by coming over here. And you just step on all of these. You can tell they ignite, so that clearly means something. Bada bing, bada boom. The wall comes down, and Sunny Flight, the first flight level. But yeah, like I said, this is a game you play more for the atmosphere, and man, does it have an atmosphere. It is honestly not only one of the prettiest platformers I think I've ever played, but it has some of the best music. It is so distinct. Like, you hear the music from this game, and you know that it is Spyro music. Like, you just absolutely know. Also, I don't remember... Hang on. I'm gonna retry. I've already fucked it up. I don't remember the pattern here, or what I'm supposed to do for the all-in-one. It's been a little while since I played this level. There's not like a specific pattern, especially for the early ones. Like this one, you could probably do a number of ways. My flight controls are probably going to be a little messed up. I'm probably not going to do very good at flying, because I just got done playing some Kirby. I recently bought Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and I played through the flying level. I'm sure there's multiple flying levels, but I got to my first flying level. And... uh-oh. I think I've already messed it up again. Oh no. I've been talking about how piss easy this game is, and I'm already screwing it up. And in Kirby in the Forgotten Land, the flight controls are not inverted naturally, although I think you can invert them. And in this game, they are inverted, so that's kind of throwing me for a loop, not gonna lie. If I could just get this other chest here, that would be great. Yeah, I love very vibrant, like, cartoony fantasy settings. And this game is, like, the quintessential cartoony, vibrant setting, I would say. Yeah, I've messed this up. There's... Okay, see, those planes are there, and that's what I was gonna do. When I came out of the little section there, there's no way I get this. Like, I would have to get all of these planes perfect first try. They're flying away from me now, which is counterintuitive to my purposes, and I missed one. Yeah, we're done. We're just We're just restarting. We're committing seppuku. But yeah, you hear the music in this game. It's so, so good. I've been trying to get my sister to play this game because, honestly, she and I, we both have very similar taste in video games. So, like, when I know that she's going to like something, I'm usually right. And platformers are a genre that we both really enjoy. And as a kid, neither of us actually played Spyro. We were pretty much like a Nintendo-only household because she was kind of like a Nintendo fangirl, so we just stuck with Nintendo. We had an N64, we had, I'm just gonna go over and try to get these planes. Where the hell are they? I hear them. Here they are. We had the N64, we had the GameCube, we had the Wii. So we played a lot of the Nintendo platformers and third-party platformers that came to Nintendo. Never played Spyro. I didn't play it until it came out on Switch with the Reignited trilogy. And I've been trying to get her to play it because, like I said, other than A Hat in Time, which, another platformer, shocker there. Other than A Hat in Time, this has been one of my favorite games, maybe ever. And I know that she would enjoy it just as much as I do. I literally gave her my Switch copy after I upgraded to the PC version. And she's just like, I'm going to get around to it. And, well, I gave her the copy like a year ago. She hasn't got around to it. But I just know that, like, as soon as she actually plays it, she is going to love it. And I'm going to be like, yeah, you should have played it like a year ago when I literally gave you a copy. I don't know why I'm struggling so hard with this. When I played the game on the second file, like literally just a few months back, I'm about 99% sure that I did this on my first attempt. Maybe it's because I'm talking. Maybe I'm distracting myself. That's a possibility. Maybe it's just because I've completely forgotten how video games function, you know? It happens to the best of us. There we go. There's 3 of those bad boys. We're gonna go out the way we came. We're gonna, I think, immediately try to get into the... Yeah, we're gonna start doing these right away. Maybe this is the way. This is the route. I think this is the speedrun strats right here. And we're gonna stop doing these halfway through, I think, because we're gonna get to the planes. And then when we get to the planes, we gotta do all those. Okay, so we go through this, and we start shooting down aircraft. Very nice of them to just be flying in circles for us, making an easy target out of themselves. Boom. Okay, now there's a ring somewhere over here that I believe I missed. Yep, right here. Okay, I'm actually going to line up properly for this one because I don't want to smack into it, fall into the water, and then automatically fail. Alright, that is Sunny Flight. And yes, you can do these all separately, but you only get the all-in-one gems if you, well, do it all at once. They would later go on to expand on the flight levels in the later games, especially, I think, Spyro 3. In particular, the flight levels would have like 3 different objectives. There was like the regular flight, like what we just did, where you do everything all in one go. Then they would have like a separate mission that involved flying. And then after the mission and the regular flying, there was also a race that you could do. So there was like 3 different things, and you were kind of free to explore those worlds on their own. Like they were their own mini worlds, as opposed to just kind of like a mini game like that. The flight levels are surprisingly fun. Like, most of the time, I hate when games put a time trial element into things, unless it's like a racing game specifically, because then I know what I'm getting into. But, I don't know, there's something very satisfying about those flight levels. This is one of my favorite levels from the first game, Dark Hollow. This is absolutely gorgeous. The lighting, the music, I mean, this is just... chef's kiss. kind of makes me glad that I didn't play the originals, because, listen, this game is one of the prettiest games I think I've ever played, but the originals, before the remaster, they were PlayStation 1 games, and man, oh man, they did not look like this. They are actually really ugly. I really heavily contemplated emulating the originals after I became so obsessed with the remakes. Oh, scheisse. Oh, that's right, you gotta burn this guy. And then I was watching some videos of the originals and things like that, and I was like, you know what? No, if I want to play the games again, we're just gonna play the Reignited trilogy. And it is baffling to me, like absolutely baffling to me, that the success of the Reignited trilogy did not spark a like true fourth Spyro game. I mean, I understand there's some issues with like the development studio not quite being the same people. And then like the people that made the Reignited trilogy, I believe they like got shit canned not long after the Reignited trilogy was made, which, if that's the case, if I'm not misremembering that, that is actually criminal, because those people, I'm sure, could have gone on to make an actual fourth Spyro game that people actually enjoyed, as opposed to whatever the hell the newer Spyro games were trying to be. I believe there is a achievement thing for lighting all the fires. See, because beyond the regular collectibles, there are, they call them skill points, I believe. I don't see skill points in the... Yeah, here they are. Okay, so each world has their own, like, skill points. And what they are is they're kind of like mini achievements, like Artisans, reach the tricky platform. That was the one I pointed out when we were up on that little hill and then we glided to that platform. Stonehill, burn the hidden pink tulip. You know, things like that. It's just little things. They don't really serve a purpose outside of unlocking, I think, the art gallery. So, like, you can get, like, concept art and little behind-the-scenes things. But they don't unlock, like, actual, like, game-changing content by any means. I think you get an achievement for doing them all. I think, yeah, I think you get one. But there's, like, no, like, real reward in-game. Some of them are kind of tricky. Like, when it says, oh, burn that hidden pink tulip. Oh, it's hidden alright. Like, I had to look up a guide. I tried to do all the skill points without looking up a guide, and that one in particular, like, it's such a massive world, you'll see when we get to it. And it's like, oh, burn the one pink tulip in this massive, giant field that's nothing but, like, flowers and grass. It's crazy. We need to go unlock the chest. Sometimes you'll see those chests that are like the metallic ones, and you can't smash into them, you can't burn them, you gotta pick up a key somewhere in the level that will unlock them. And 100 out of 100. I always find it really amusing, like, how few gems are in the the original levels, because, like, 100 gems in that level. But once you get up to, like, Spyro 3 and you start playing through some of those levels, it'll be like, oh yeah, there's 2,000 gems in this level. Okay, so... yeah, why don't we do Stonehill? I think this is meant to be, like, the first world, but I never do it first. I usually do Sunny Flight first. The first time I played the Reignited trilogy, I did that level first when I didn't know anything about the game, and I did it first because you unlock it by jumping on those little things, and I jumped on them, and I was like, oh, that means something, so, like, I accidentally unlocked it, and now it seems like I just play it first every single playthrough. Okay. I always hate when devs put things spawning behind you. It's just a jerk move in a collectathon game. Like, it starts you at the very back of the level, the camera's pointed forward, and of course, there's something right behind you. So somewhere we need a key. I actually don't remember these levels by heart, so I'm actually not sure where the key actually is. They're generally not that hard to find. But you can see this level is massive. And they're like, oh yeah, burn the pink tulip. I'm like, dude, do you see how many fucking flowers there are everywhere? What specific flower are you referring to here? Also kind of interesting, the enemies do give you gems for defeating them, so for 100% completion you actually do need to defeat all the enemies in this game. And then Spyro 2 rolls around and they no longer count towards completion. Sometimes you have to kill them because what would happen is there were certain like power-ups within the level, like the power-up to fly or the power-up to run fast, and they would be locked until you killed a certain number of enemies, so you had to do that for completion. But killing every single enemy in the game was not a requirement. But then in Spyro 3, they gave you the souls to like unlock the upgrades, and they gave you gems. So it went from one to the other, and then both. Also, this is this game's other form of collectible. Easily one of the most irritating, just because some of them are easy, but some of them are absolute pains. You just have to chase this guy down. He's got an egg, and you get all the eggs. And, like, eventually you'll get close enough. It's just kind of tedious. Like, I don't think I'm close enough to burn him just yet. There we go. Alright. I don't think there's that many collectibles up in this, like, area here. Which kind of feels like an out-of-bounds area. Like, when you're playing the game, and you're, like, down in that area there. Like, you see everything around you, like these hills and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, that's out of bounds. No, it's just a massive open area of play. For some reason. There's even gems, like, up here where you would think nothing would be hidden. I think somewhere along the line you get knocked off. Like, you can't go up here, I don't think. So I think I got all the gems that are, like, up here. So now we're going to go down here. 'Cause there's plenty of stuff over here to get. Oh, you know what? This level has one of the things that absolutely tricked me. Down here. You can go down here. There's gems. The first time I played this level, I was trying to figure out where the hell am I missing gems, and Sparks kept pointing towards, like, this area. And I was like, how the hell am I missing something over there? And, like, after I don't know, probably about half an hour, I finally just thought to look down there and jump, and I was like, I'm an idiot. Why did I not do this sooner? Once you know it's there, it doesn't get you. Honestly, I don't even know how I missed it, because look at that. You can see the lift gate, like the little, like, lifting winds there. Like, you can see it. And I just completely overlooked it. But we can open up this chest now. We got the key. I believe we're getting close to completion. There's just one more room we gotta go to for this world. Neum. Am fast. Yeah, this massive treasure room here, just shitload of gems all in one place. Okay, are we oh, we're missing gems somewhere. Okay. I thought that was gonna be it. What a fool I've been. This way, huh? It must be somewhere up top, perhaps? What have I missed? I think it's somewhere up top. We're just gonna go back up there. Because I can always get back down if it's not, but I got a strong feeling that it is. Ah, yeah, over here. That's some. Also, they changed the value of the gems throughout the games. Like, the red ones are 1 in this, and the green are 2. But then, later on, in the other games, I think red is 2 and green is 1, and it's just all over the place. What am I missing? Is it something on the ground, or is it something out of bounds? Probably out of bounds, okay. Not out of bounds, but I don't know. I've always kind of thought, like I said, thought of this area as being out of bounds. No, actually, oh, there it is. Doy. There it is. 100% completion in that world. So, we can exit. No need to go to the warp gate. There's literally no point. You just pause the game. Doesn't take away progress or anything. You're just essentially teleporting back to the main hub world here. Alright, that's going to do it for part 1. 4 worlds in a part. Artisan, Stonehill, Dark Hollow, Sunny Flight. I think there's 4 more worlds, maybe more, in this first hub world. And I think there's like 5 hub worlds total. So, alright.